What's up everyone, Video Box here, coming at you with a new deck profile for you guys, and today I want to talk about Blackwings. Now, Blackwings have been made fun of over the course of the last year or so. I'm not exactly sure why, even with all the new support, but I mean I've never been one to care about what anyone thinks, which is why I actually want to do this profile for you guys today. So what I'm going to do is go over my cards and then go over some of the few combos that I can do with this deck. So starting off with the monsters, I have 3 Blackwing Kalute the Moonshadow, 3 Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, 3 Blackwing Chris the Crack of Dawn, 3 Blackwing Bora the Spear, 2 Blackwing Blizzard the Far North, 2 Pinaki the Waxing Moon, 1 Blackwing Gladius the Midnight Sun, 1 Blackwing Harmattan the Dust, and rounding out the monsters, 2 Maxi. Now onto spells, I run 3 Black Whirlwind, 2 Twin Twister, 2 Instant Fusion, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki, and 1 Allure of Darkness. Now onto traps, I'll start out with 2 Black Sonic, 1 Icarus Attack, 2 Fiendish Chain, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Vanity's Emptiness, 1 Solemn Warning, and rounding out the traps, 2 Mind Crush. Now onto the extra deck, I'll start out with 2 Elder Entity Norden, 1 Castel the Sky Blaster Musketeer, 2 Blackwing Nothung the Starlight, 1 Goyo Guardian, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Blackwing Armor Master, 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon, 1 Blackwing Tamer Obsidian Hawk Joe, 1 Assault Blackwing Raikiri the Rain Shower, 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 BLs of the Diabolic Dragons, and last monster, Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Alright, so I'm going to go over one big combo that I like using with this deck. The only reason I like it so much is because it only requires 3 cards on my end to actually be able to do some big damage to the opponent. The 3 cards in this example would be Black Whirlwind, Kalute, and Gale. So rather than just tell you, I'm just going to show you, run through the motions, and yeah. So first off, I'll activate Black Whirlwind. I'll normal summon Kalute, and then I'll trigger Black Whirlwind's effect, and then I'll use it to add Blizzard the Far North to my hand. So next, I'll special summon Gale from my hand. If my opponent has a monster, I'll use Gale's effect to have the attack of their monster. Next, I'll synchro summon into Blackwing Nothung the Starlight. So when Nothung is special summoned, I can choose one monster to control. It loses 800 attack, and they also lose 800 life points. That part actually is actually not that relevant, but it actually does help. But the main thing I care about is that Nothung allows me to normal summon another Blackwing monster. And the Blackwing monster I want to normal summon is Blizzard, which is what I searched off from the Whirlwind. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So now Whirlwind and Blizzard trigger at the same time. Normally I like using Blizzard as Chainlink 1, Black Whirlwind as Chainlink 2, but the order doesn't really matter. So Whirlwind will trigger first, or it'll resolve first, and next I'll use Whirlwind to add Harmattan to my hand, and then Blizzard's effect will resolve, and then I'll special summon Gale from the graveyard in defense mode. So now, before I do anything else, if my monster is still threatening, I'll use Gale's effect to have their attack again, which is actually pretty funny, because you have it loses 800, and then it's halved again. So next, I'll special summon Harmattan from my hand. So Harmattan's effect, when it's normal or special summoned, I can target one Blackwing monster I control, and then it gains levels equal to the monster I target. So in this case, I'll target Blizzard, so that Harmattan now becomes a level 4 monster. So next what I'll do is I'll synchro Blizzard and Nothung to make a level 8 synchro. Depending on the situation, I can either go into Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend or BLs the Diabolic of the Diabolic Dragons. In this example, I'll just go to Scarlight, and then I'll synchro Gale and the Harmattan, which is now level 4, and then I'll make Blackwing Tamer Obsidian Hawk Joe. Now Obsidian Hawk Joe's effect activates, I can special summon a Blackwing or a Winged Beast monster from my graveyard that's level 5 or higher once per turn. So the prime target I get back is the Nothung, which I synchroed with earlier. So now if you add up the attack points of all 3 monsters, that's 8,000 points of damage exactly. Not to mention the effects of Gale and Nothung decreasing the attack of whatever monsters on the field, and also the 800 life points they lost previously. So now I would proceed to attack. Chances are, unless they have something to stop you, that would be game. And if they somehow still survived main phase 2, I can use Scarlight's effect, destroy all special summon effect monsters, and then burn them for 500 each. So if they drop something like Gores on you, Tragodia, or somehow stop your battle phase play, you can still deal some extra damage to them. And these 2 monsters alone would inflict another 1000 points of damage to the opponent. This 3-card combo is the bread and butter of my deck, but there are different variations that I can do to actually go into the same result but with different cards. Black Whirlwind is the one constant that has to remain. Other cards that I can use with the Black Whirlwind include Gale and Lizard. So essentially what you do first is you normal summon the Gale, and then Black Whirlwind's effect activates. Instead of adding Harmon, you would actually add Gladius, which you would then special summon, and then you would go into No Thung, and then you would proceed to normal summon the Blizzard and then go off that way. Another variation of this combo includes Blizzard and Panaki. So again, just like the previous scenario, you would normal summon Panaki, you would search for Gladius, special summon Gladius, go into No Thung, and then proceed from there. Another variation would be Blizzard and Kalut. You normal summon Kalut, get the Gale, and then just go from there. Now if you notice from the last segment of my video, you notice that I don't really talk too much about Chris or Bora at all. While these two cards are good, they're not really too critical to the main combo of the deck. Rather, they're actually complementary monsters that I use for extra damage. Like if I already have my dedicated board, I can go ahead and special Chris, special Bora, and then proceed to add an extra 17 or 1900 damage. And then also, the relevance of these two guys is that if I don't have my key combos in my hand yet, and I still have a Black Whirlwind, I normally just use these guys to normal summon, and then I add whatever piece I need to go off next turn. You know, of course, assuming I survive my opponent's turn. Another card that I like to utilize in this deck is Instant Fusion. So with Instant Fusion, I get Norden from my extra deck, and Norden's effect activates. Chances are I would like to get either Gale or Panaki from my graveyard to go into a level 7 play. Instant Fusion actually works because if I need to get rid of some kind of a threat, I can use Instant Fusion, get Norden, either make Castel or level 7 Synchro to get rid of any threat without using the normal summon. So that's one thing that I like to go into. And then also, if I already have a dedicated field, I can use Instant Fusion to get Norden, get a tuner, and go for extra damage. Now if you guys have noticed, there are two key Blackwing monsters that I don't actually run in my build. The first one is Blackwing Shura the Blue Flame, and the second one is Blackwing Sirocco the Dawn. Now both of these cards have their strong points, but the way I have my deck built is normally supposed to be a fast-paced deck, and both of these cards actually do slow the deck down. One of the things that actually go against me running these cards is that both monsters take up the normal summon, and there's not much I can really do with them, even with Black Whirlwind on my side of the field. Yeah, I can add like a weaker monster, like a key part to go off to use my combos later, but Sirocco actually requires my opponent to have a monster. If I somehow like Darkhold their field, this card is essentially dead in my hand. And with Shura, it actually does have a decent battle phase effect, but the options that I can bring out from my deck are really limited. Chances are I would either get Gale or Panaki, which is probably the best target I can get with Shura, but of course I have to dedicate my normal summon and my battle phase to get an extra monster out. And honestly, like, to just do that, to get one synchro monster during main phase 2 and try to hope that they don't do anything about it, it's not very ideal, only because it leaves me a bit vulnerable. And then on top of that, Shura actually has to destroy the monster by battle and send it to the graveyard. So if it attacks over like a pendulum monster, I won't get its effect. And I don't know, honestly I think to me that isn't so great. But I mean, overall both cards are great, but in terms of pacing for the deck, I think these two cards actually slow me down, which is why I decided to exclude both of them. As good as this deck can be, there are a few weaknesses that I encountered while playing this deck. One of the main things that I noticed that is if you draw into your Gladius or your Hamaten, it actually does impede you a little bit, mainly because you want to search out these two cards with Black Whirlwind. However, drawing into them doesn't really hurt, it just essentially eliminates two cards that you would have drawn into, which can be big, but at the same time it's not that bad. I mean, you just kind of have to work with less in terms of pulling off your combos. Also, another weakness that I encountered is that if your opponent somehow stops the synchro summon of this guy, it essentially hinders what you can do for the rest of your turn, and you're forced to go into a different direction. Like if they bottomless it, then you don't get the normal summon again, because nothing has to remain face up on the field for that to apply. So unless you either have instant fusion in your hand, you can't really do a follow-up play, and you're just forced to set some back row and hope they don't kill you. But I mean, any deck has its strengths and weaknesses, and through playing this deck myself, I actually found the deck to be more consistent than it has been inconsistent. And I do normally get my plays off. The other cards in the deck actually do help, like if I have back row, the Twin Twisters can actually help deal with some problems. Black Sonic can get rid of problematic monsters if I have to wait a turn or something. But I mean, honestly, like with any deck, you just have to make the best play with what you have available and what you're facing down. But this is my Blackwing Deck Profile. If you guys liked what you saw, feel free to like the video, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Until next time, this is Video Box. Peace. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. You can also check out some of our other content by clicking on the videos below. For more updates, you can subscribe to TeemTHE by clicking on the subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, peace out guys.